Hey, what is up guys? Marcy here, back to do another video, and we are on a map that I haven't played in quite a while. It's going to be Tournament Stadium. I'm going to be playing as the Black Hat. My opponent will be playing as the Traveler-59. Now this matchup is probably my all-time favorite matchup. I played this the most as the Traveler-59 player, but I do have vivid memories of when I played versus Technique's Black Hand, Doe Dutch's Black Hand, as well as many other players back in the day. So this matchup here I have a lot of nostalgia for, and it is still a very good matchup in the game. It favors Traveler in the late game, naturally. I mean, Traveler is favored against every faction in the late game, to be fair. Black Hand do have a small advantage early on. You can all in them. Small maps they tend to do better on, just due to the rush distance. But this map isn't so great for all-inning, so what I'm going to do is just eco up, and I know what you're thinking. Leaf, you just told me that going for the late game puts you at disadvantage as Black Hand, and yes, I agree, but I do have a strategy in mind in this particular game. I'm going to approach it a little bit different than I normally would. Now, I know what my opponent does, because he does it a lot, and that is he likes to go for shock trooper spam. I have been dying to this strategy over and over. Without particle beams, it is very difficult to kill shock troopers. Now with Black Hand, it's a little bit trickier since you don't have shadow teams or venoms. Shadow teams are amazing nowadays. Kane and Not have no problem at all versus heavy infantry due to those amazing shadow teams. Just put them on aggressive stance and they won't target anything but enemy infantry. That's what I recommend you do. If you don't want to manually set all the shadow teams to aggressive, what you can do is assign your Hand of Nod to aggressive stance. You can do that to production structures. Highly recommend it. So this stage of the game, we're just going to be ecoing up. I'm going to anti-scout him as much as I can. That's why I'm selling a bunch of shredder turrets. I get a bunch of comments asking me, why do you sell shredder turrets off? Why do you sell watchtowers off? What's the point of building a watchtower to sell it off immediately afterwards? And the point is, I get a rifleman or a Cabal squad or a militant squad for the same cost as if I would build it from a Hand of Nod. It doesn't cost me any more unless you're playing Nod. And the other advantage is you get it right away. You don't have to build a barracks, and you can have it spawn wherever you want around your build radius. And it's not occupying a structure queue that you need all the time. Like the refinery is building now from my main tab. In fact, this game I'm going for a secret shrine, and this is where I'm going to proceed with this matchup a little bit differently. This is what I meant by I'm going to play a little bit differently this game versus the Traveler, versus his Traveler to be exact. So versus the shock troopers, I'm going to go for these disciple cabals, and I'm going to let them all over the map. It may force him to stop committing so heavily into the shock trooper spam. We shall see. So far he is oblivious to this. He could think that I'm going for flame tanks, because I often like to go for blue flame tanks with a double shrine. He could also think there's 2 war factories as well, considering how there's a ton of bike buggy on this map. If it were me and I saw the bike buggy in the refinery, I would be assuming it to be a 2 war factory. So hiding this secret shrine is definitely a good move, and it may make him believe that he's safe to go shock troopers. Leaf's going 2 war factory, bike buggy spam. I'm gonna have the counter with the shock troopers. All's gonna be well. Setting those shredder turrets up. Now it makes more sense, more than ever, since every Cabal comes with that Black Disciple member, which has a ton of health. As much actually as a GDI commando in vanilla. Now in this patch, it's a little bit more for the commando. The GDI commandos and commandos in general are a little bit tougher to kill. Prodigy and Commander and the Mastermind unchanged. Those had 1,250 HP. If my memory serves me right, the GDI Commander had 500, as well as the Nod. But they made up for it by having awesome armor. I just changed the armor values, increased the armor even further so they wouldn't heal slower whilst heroic. So now I see the shock troopers. I wasn't entirely sure. It didn't matter if he wasn't going for them, since The other alternative would be he goes for Mechapedes, which I have the counter to in the form of these bikes. I'm also taking up 2 tier 3 now to get that Tiberium Core upgrade, or Charged Particle Beams, depending on what he builds. But typically versus Traveler-59, you want to get Particle Beams first to counter the Prodigy, because that Prodigy will teleport in and steal your Tech Sender or MCV. There is a 1 second delay nowadays before it can capture a building. Plus its blink ability has a smaller radius compared to before. So it's a bit fairer than it used to be. That being said, Mechapedes have more range now. They are practically the same as they were in the base game. They were nerfed for the longest time in 1.02 Plus to fix a bug that honestly didn't require that range nerf in the first place. Why were the Mechapedes changed back to how they were in 1.02 Plus, I hear you ask? Well, because at one point Scorpion tanks had 25% dozer blades. That was to help them versus GDI factions to change the meta, because at that moment it was pretty dull. We wanted Scorpions to be seen more often. We wanted Bike Buggy not to be the only tier 1 unit that not players build. And we succeeded with that for sure. So much so that we had to revert the Dozer Blade buff, but not fully. 20% armor is what it's at now. Now, I do want to mention one thing here, and that is I've got these bikes on hold fire stance, so they're not wasting volleys on the harvesters around. That meant there that I killed 2 of the Mechapedes, didn't waste any shots, and that was crucial. So when every shot matters, and you don't want your bikes or units such as Pitbulls to waste anything, just put them on hold fire stance, and you can ensure that you get the damage necessary on your opponent. With an elite bike here, I'm going to micro it to kill the units. Experience is granted to units that get the final shot off. So here I'm purposefully putting everything on hold fire stance so that that elite bike can get the XP. Now, phase doesn't make units invincible, it substantially increases the armor. So I'm consciously attacking the harvester that is almost dead. It increases the armor by about 10,000%. But if the harvester's on like 2 HP, it's not too bad. It's like killing a mammoth tank at that point. So I knew there that I had the chance to kill the harvester, and it's full of blue Tiberium. It's worth it. I wasn't going to let that one go. So I forced the phase. He's not going to have that available to him. He's not going to be able to phase his Mechapedes or Hexapod, which has come out. And my base will be under siege soon. I set up shop at his expansion. He is, as far as I'm aware, at my expansion. So we've traded expansions. He has gone to the bottom. I've gone to the top. He doesn't want to fight me over that top field. He does have an advantage in doing so, since Traveler-59 dev ships are very fast and hard to kill as Black Hand. But yeah, I see these Mechapedes here, and I'm positioning the buggies in a way that the Mechapedes can't retreat. So even if he had gone to retreat there, the buggies would have stopped them from doing so. He couldn't get out there, and those Mechapedes were dead. Most likely he was paying attention to my Redeemer, which is now in his base. I need to get some counterattack damage done. I can't let the trap player build up. That Hexapod is very hard to kill. Plus it's going to get a ton of resources, since the recycler system is now consistent. Redeemer, I'm going to use this like a giant flame tank. It has some infantry to support it in case a tripod approaches it for EMPing. If you send a Redeemer out without support, then yeah, obviously your opponent can just build one tripod and EMP it. But it's going to complicate it a bit more with the infantry surrounding that unit. Getting some rear damage dealt on that Eradicator. Epic units and most vehicles take more damage from the rear. I'm placing down the shredder turrets as well, just to make those Mechapedes shoot them instead of the bikes. Bikes are very, very lightly armored. I've got a heroic one back there, but even heroic bikes won't be able to sustain the huge DPS that this army has. Hexapod getting repairs with that reconstruction drone's power. A Mechapede there I was trying to focus on, but I was unsuccessful. This Hexapod is generating so much for him. He's also set up expansion refineries in my third, so things aren't looking too great for me despite his base being taken out, and his Prodigy is still around. He still has Prodigy, Hexapod, and Mechapedes. Those Mechapedes are taking out my buggies, and sadly, I did not kill the Prodigy. The Prodigy blinked back just before it was about to die. That was sad. Now my units are going to have to contend with this Eradicator and then probably kill it again when it teleports back to base and gets healed up. The good thing for me at the moment is that his base is being shredded. I have more infrastructure compared to him, but army count, both of us are comparable. His Hexapod is taking out my expansion. So both of us have traded infrastructure, though I still maintain my tech. Don't really need it as Black Cat, since I have the upgrades I need, the particle beams, the EMP cores, and charge and Tyroom core missiles. All three are necessary against this faction. You cannot do without a single one. You need the EMP for the enemy Hexapod, you need the charged particle beams for killing the Prodigy, you need the Tyroom core missiles to aim down those Mechapedes. Just 5 attack bikes are required to kill a Mechapede head. Those descents are causing so much problems. I'm losing harvesters, leeching his field. These descents are moving in, hoping to kill my Redeemer. My Redeemer has an empty garrison slot. Sure, I could have garrisoned that one up there with an engineer, but time was a bigger factor. I didn't want him to build up a defense in his base, so I sent the Redeemer out, and the Redeemer has killed the Hexapod. My opponent had no way to save that there, since he doesn't have a tech center and his Prodigy got sniped by all of those bikes. The one thing I'm lacking now is economy. I have lots of Cabals upgraded with charged particle beams, but he's bringing in resources. I am not. I've got a sizable summer bike buggy. He's just got 1 ref on his field. If he had placed a second one down, the amount of disintegrators he could spam out now would be insane. I would be squeezed out of this game very quickly if he had deployed a second ref. No, I'm mistaken actually. He still maintains his Prodigy. So that is a huge deal. And with all that eco coming in, he has a chance to get back into this. But I do snipe the Prodigy. And those bikes now can go to town on these harvesters. Cabal's moving in so I can kill the reinforcing disintegrators. And for good measure, I'm going to bring along my AIM-CV just to place 1 or 2 shredder turrets, because he's most likely going to be taking out these buggies in short order. Second ref finally comes down for him, so he's bringing in tons of resources, but the bikes are still yet to be answered. He's not able to establish an army. He's just got 1 buzzer hive left, a couple disintegrators returning from the top of the map, hoping to... those descents were hoping to cut off my harvesters. He was expecting me to run dry out of tip, which I almost did. I had to force sell all of my base practically to fund the shredder turrets at his expansion field here. And with that heroic bite, he's not going to have anything to contend with it. He's got a lot of harvesters, but a lot of dead units as well. Nothing to really kill that force of mine. And I thought that was a really close game on that map. And for a moment there, I thought my microphone was muted. I've had several occasions where that has been the case, but no, it's a signal. It signals to me that I'm recording. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that one there. I was behind the economy. My opponent did well, but I anticipated his moves in that particular game. I thought the infantry shrine strategy worked well versus Traveler, and the bikes are way better as well against the Mechapedes compared to Scorpion tanks. Having a bunch of bikes against Mechapedes is a better proposition than Scorpion tanks, and Disciple Cabals kill infantry a lot quicker and more effectively than the buggies do. Anyways guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. And before I go, I'd like to thank my patrons for supporting my channel and keeping this going. Anyways, I'll see you on the next video guys. This is it from me, Master Leaf. Peace out.